On today's episode of Golf is Ruining My Life, golf has ruined someone's life and wife on Email Corner.
Oh dear. Also, I've got a surprise for everyone. I've been squirreling away. I've made something. I'm going to present the thing that I've made. It's golf. It's amazing. It's on today's show.
You're not going to believe it, but they once again have sat down, as usual, early in the morning to record their thoughts on golf and highlight the fact they're now referring to themselves in the third person, because that's what happens when you become the UK's second biggest golf podcast.
Done it.
Hello and welcome back to Thursday's episode of Golf is Ruining My Life. Do you know what, Tom? We've not sat and recorded in it because we batch cooked a few last time. So there's been a bit of a gap since we last sat down and did this. And I've got to say, and I feel a bit sick saying this, there's something coming up. I thought I've missed you a bit.
Oh dear, don't say it. This is weird. No, this is weird. It feels like we've not done an episode for days and days and days. I mean, realistically, it's only been since last Friday. I think we were last in the studio, or maybe Thursday. So it really hasn't been that long. But it's great to be talking about golf again. It's great to have Masters Week here. The play kicks off today. I found myself on the sofa. This is Wednesday we're recording this. So Tuesday, I found myself sitting on the sofa just watching hours and hours of Masters coverage. Yeah. Whatever it is. The
range.
The CBS broadcast live from the Masters.
I know. It is ridiculous, isn't it? It looks like something from Star Wars when they all sit along that huge desk going, okay, John, I gotta say, Brooksy is looking good this week. It's just like...
It's so weird.
No, why?
I prefer... Do you know what? I gotta say it. I really prefer the Sky Sports golf coverage. It's just a bit more normal. It's a bit less shiny. Listen, I love the fact that Sky are putting it out because it means we can watch it. But do I need to watch a 45-minute Scotty Scheffler press chat? I don't think I do. I actually don't think I do, really. But I did.
So this is really interesting, actually. The idea of the pre-tournament coverage, right? Not something we do much here in the UK.
No.
Obviously in America, certainly for the Masters, they do it. I'm sure they'll do it for a lot of the other majors as well. But this is on while I'm at work doing my radio show, right, Tom?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm doing the radio show and I've got my iPad on. And it was the Victor Hovland presser, right? Okay. So I've got no sound. Of course, I'm not allowed sound in the studio. That would be insane. So Victor Hovland comes up and I'm like, oh, Victor Hovland. Oh, look at him looking good, covered in his Ping branding. And that guy's just pure class, right? So I look at him on my iPad. I go back to doing my radio show, talking to Kat, doing the stuff. And get distracted, doing my actual job for like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And I look back and I'm like, wow, Victor Hovland is still there.
Yeah, still chatting.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the press conference for those guys who got stuck in space for 9 months extra and came back to Earth, I think their interviews were shorter and they left the planet.
Victor Hovland as well, dropping an Eminem reference in the press conference yesterday was just absolutely ideal. Because this is what I think is quite funny as I get older. The guys that are playing in these tournaments, they're basically just me and my age. And it's so funny because they're surrounded by this glamour, this glory, this prestige of the Masters, but they're just normal blokes who do little trumps and go for wheeze. And when that sort of eats its way out in press conferences or during the glory of the Masters, I just find it really funny. But the content, guys, the content that the Masters are putting out is some of the most beautiful, most well shot, best edited, concept-wise incredible. There was a video yesterday, just a little short on Instagram or whatever it was, I don't know if you saw this, of someone making a Pimino cheese sandwich, there being like a GoPro on the sandwich, and then it going all the way up to the locker room and Dustin Johnson eating the sandwich GoPro style. I'm just like, this is joking. No, this is brilliant. It looks so beautiful. I just think whoever's making the content has done an amazing job.
Someone has got more drones than the Third World War at the Masters right now. And they are just, there's just drones everywhere, probably green, so that they sort of, blend into the background.
Or pink.
Buzzing around.
Behind the flowers.
Yeah. And everything's in slow motion. It makes me think that, when I arrive, I'm playing 9 holes with my son later on this morning. When I arrive at our local course for our nine holes, part of me will be doing it in slow motion. You know what I mean? Just like all the golf montages I've seen recently are just people slowly walking, which, let's be honest, golf isn't the quickest of sports. I'd say there's probably not much need to slow things down even more.
There's already a pace of play issue.
It does look gorgeous.
We don't need to be...
Yeah, exactly.
Watching the golfers from last year do the skipping the ball across the water as well. and like the mindset of what to do over that shot and how people have completely ballsed it up in the past was really funny.
Yeah.
When you are listening to this, just be prepared, because this is potentially, maybe with the Ryder Cup, maybe not, but this is probably the best weekend of golf of the calendar year, because we love the Open. The Open Championship is amazing, but by that time of the year, you've become a bit laissez-faire with having golf back. You're just like, yeah, of course we got golf. Of course the weather's good. Whereas right now, we've got all this pent up sort of golf energy that's ready to burst.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It's as if the Masters is the only golf tournament every year and everything else is just a nice thing, and Masters is the one. It's so exciting, to the point where, and we're very excited to announce this, I'm absolutely bleak as all hell about this. I'm going to be honest, because I can only ever be my authentic self on this show.
Yes.
I'm absolutely dreading it. But Tom has decided that we are going to record episodes after every day of the Masters. And I fall off a cliff at about 9:30 every night. And in the UK, the Masters coverage finishes at like between 10 and midnight on varying days. So you're going to, basically the episode that there will be a second Gurmal episode tonight. It will be largely Tom Green talking about the Masters and me.
Have you seen the sandwich video? Have you seen Pamino's sandwich video? It's brilliant. No, but the reason I want to do this is because with the concept with Gurl, as always with the stuff we put out, is we try and make the stuff that I want to consume, right? And what I love the idea of is getting on the train, on the tube, whatever it is, driving to work on a Friday morning and being like, do you know what? I'd love to have a catch-up on what happened on the golf yesterday in a podcast form. No, and I don't know anyone that's doing it. Yeah. So we want to give you a bit of a rundown.
And it will just be us waffling on and saying some things we've seen. Don't forget, we're not professional pundits. It's just two of us going, I like that. But what I always remember this when, mate, I'm not going to remember his name now. Who's the English guy who won completely randomly 10, 15 years ago? Danny
Willett.
Danny Willett. I remember the morning after he'd won, I was so excited because it was such a great win for him. And I listened to, I think it was on BBC Sounds, Chappers, Mark Chapman, who is the best sports broadcaster in the country as far as I'm concerned. Mark Chapman is incredible. And his guys, Ian Murray and all those guys, just did a podcast where they just talked about the golf. And I remember hearing that. This is years ago now, obviously, and I thought, hang on. Why don't I don't, maybe those do exist, but I don't hear blokes just, or people just naturally sort of, rambling around it. So that's what we're going to do.
That's all it is. It's just, it's basically
we won't
as if
be
you've got mates over around your house and the golf's finished. You're just like, what do you think about that then? So that's coming this week. It is Masters week. But Tom, there's an elephant in the room, isn't there? There is an elephant in the room.
Here he comes. That's become the go-to phrase for when Tom Green has played well. You playing well is an elephant in the room. No, I'm so excited about this, and Tom sent me the best series of WhatsApps that I think you've ever sent me. Apart from,
you're looking at the wrong elephant, mate.
I mean,
this is the wrong elephant.
Oh,
you're talking about
what's our elephant?
There's a different elephant in the room.
There's a lot of elephants in this room. How big is this room? Go on.
We'll come back to the fact that I'm now a single-figured golfer. Let's not dwell on
huge.
That. It is huge. Oh my God, it's huge. But there is something else which is more huge, Tom.
Go on.
So a few weeks ago, something really interesting happened in Hertfordshire, which is me and you played golf together, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah, it was lovely. We had a lovely time.
And who won?
Well, look, golf is more about competing against yourself, and I didn't really think of it as a competition. Famously, whenever there's a pro golf tournament, no one really talks about who wins. It's all about the enjoyment of it. You won.
Thank you. And I don't know why, but I feel like on this show, we've sort of skimmed over this. Like, this is a really big deal, right? We've not made a big enough deal about it.
I don't think we did.
So I've been squirreling away in the background for the last few days, and I've made something to celebrate what happened in Hertfordshire a few days ago. Tom, I emailed it you this morning. Do you want to press play on it on 3, 2, 1, and we can listen to...
I've got a thing here called The Surprise. Oh, hang on, it's downloading it, but it's only 5.3 megabytes.
Oh, it's not long, good. Tom.
Right. No, right.
Let me know when you're ready to play it, because I want everyone to listen to this together.
I feel like we've covered it, though. I feel like we've covered it.
After this, we will have covered it.
Yeah. Right.
Are you ready?
Okay. 3, 2,
1.
Now on 5 Live, we cross over to the golf live from Hertfordshire.
Well, on this pristine Porters Park day, the stage is set. Tom Green, steadying himself now, taking good care of this little tiddler at the last that will mean so much more than just 2 or 3 feet, because it's been 3 years of toil. And just wondering if the Welshman gifted Green a first whiff of gross score glory with that tee shot here at the last, clattering into the woods, or was the door creaking open long before that errant tee shot and the second down this final hole? Well, the birdie from Price at the penultimate gave Green plenty to ponder, I'm sure, but in truth, it won't matter one bit to Green when that moment of realisation came during this match here. He's played brilliantly, hot out of the blocks, nerves of course curtailing that strut, that swagger a little on the homeward half, but how confident was he here? That 8-iron out of the bunker from the fairway, knowing what was at stake, and then the cool, crisp wedge to this final putting surface. That would have been the writing on the wall for Tom Price. But as Green addresses his ball now to tidy up, the Prestonian hits Price at
like there were people there.
Green with gross glory here.
I knew this was going on inside your head. I knew this was what was going on inside your head.
He clasps hands with his good friend, and he now savours the moment, and why not? Despite the lack of a gallery here on this final green, Tom Green will not care one jot. He's the champion, and not a single handicap stroke was required to do it.
He won by 1 shot, guys, because I hit it in the woods on the last. I mean, literally, if I'd just got a bogey on the last, none of this would have happened. And that's the glory of golf.
Hold on, Price, I can't hear anything you're saying. All I can hear is the beautiful sounds of Sigur Rós in the background.
It's lovely. I love this tune. Well, not now. This tune's ruined forever. You've soiled one of my favourite tracks. I mean,
now
one of the best bits of audio. If only you put that much effort into editing normal episodes, you know, it would just. Does this just fade now?
It just fades. Just fades.
What I love about this is that I just have the image of you in slow motion, triumphantly walking off, and me skulking my way to the car and then going to buy an ice cream, which is what I did actually. After that, I bought an ice cream.
Can I just say a massive thank you to Andrea Fox, the newsreader, who started that clip, and the amazing friend of the show, James Gregg, 5 Live golf commentator, who did that.
James Gregg? I thought it was.
That's James Gregg, 5 Live golf commentator, who commentated on me beating Price with no handicap required at Porters Park in Radlett a few weeks ago.
I mean, listen, that was just, it was, do you know what? It was worth it. Had I known that this bit of audio and getting those guys, Andrea and James, to do that was what was awaiting if you had won, I would have played even worse on purpose. As it was, I was playing badly on purpose.
Sure.
To give you the win.
Sure.
It was a hell. It was a hell of a moment, and you know, I'm just so grateful. Can I just say, I don't know how pros in any sport do the interview afterwards when they've absolutely been humped. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you. I did suggest a beer after this round of golf, and you quite. Oh, I've got things to do. I've got things to do. Turns out the thing to do was an ice cream. I just felt like after 3 years of this show and me never beating you, I couldn't let the moment sort of pass us by without a BBC Sports montage. So that's what I made.
I mean, there's nothing better than a BBC Sports montage.
Yeah.
They do that the best. So if we were to play any golf soon, Tom, if we had anything coming up, which obviously we can't talk about, which obviously is top secret, which obviously we'll be telling you about very soon. If we had any of that coming up soon, do you think we might be making more of these montages if I win? Do you think that will happen?
Well, put it this way, Tom. I'll make them if I win, and I'll leave it up to you to make it if you win.
Okay. All right. Fine. So get ready for lots more montages.
That took way too long. I had sent so many emails, and I had to do so many fiddly edit to loop Sigur Rós. Turns out it's far harder than you would think. Really hard to put a good loop on the front end of Sigur Rós. But I really enjoyed making that.
Yeah, but worth it.
Just so you know, while driving around all weekend, I've listened to that on the car stereo. Just picturing myself. Because I had a romantic idea of sort of... I could take us there, really, all visually. As you maybe sit in the car at your golf club, and for some reason you're in a convertible, and it's the 90s.
Oh wow!
And you crackle on the radio, and that's what you hear on the radio. That was my dream picture. It was just an honour to make.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrea.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
It's really nice. But what I love about that is that it reveals what was truly going on inside your head when you did win that day. You played it down tremendously. You're like, all right, mate. Yeah, no bother. Yeah, no fuss. Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye, bye, bye. There was no sense of, oh my God. None of that. None of that at all. It was... Yeah, no, it was. I had no idea you were as happy as that, and if I'd known I could make you happy by allowing you to beat me, I'd have done it by many more shots. That has made me so determined to practice, and I'll be in the nicest possible way, destroy you, and that's okay. That's all right to use language like that.
Adverts, save me, adverts.
Hello, welcome back. This is Golf is Ruining My Life with Price and Green. Dun, 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 dun. It's a good tune. So look, you will be hearing from us again tonight, by the way, because the Masters is on, but Tom will just want an excuse to play that audio again. So expect to hear that on tonight's episode. We are going to be doing a little sum up of the Masters, but it will only be like 10 minutes long, right, Tom? Because I need to get to sleep, right? I know what's going to happen. It'll end up being 45 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be ridiculous. I'm really looking forward to tonight because obviously Thursday at the Masters, all the golfers to talk about, a lot of excitement. I imagine it'll probably land in your feeds early Friday morning, probably. There'll be a YouTube video as well. So if you're on the way to work or you want to catch up on the golf when you're in that annoying stage where it's Friday, Sky hasn't put its highlights on yet and hasn't started new coverage, come to us and we've got your coverage. But Tom, it's Thursday, so we need to go over to Golf Bidder Corner.
Do-do-do-do-ba-do, boo. So that's right, guys. Welcome to Golf Bidder Corner.
Yes, every week, thanks to our friends at Golf Bidder, we are offering a £50 Golf Bidder voucher for the best email that comes into us during the week. So it's the Toms at golfisruiningmylife.co.uk is how you get involved in the show. Go down to the description of this episode. There is a link to Golf Bidder. If you ever want to buy any clubs, click on that link. It really helps us on the show. So if you want to give back to the show, just head over to Golf Bidder, buy something, and it helps us. Or just email us and get £50 from Golf Bidder.
It's a wonderful prize. So we've got the emails here, Tom. Shall we have a little look through? We'll choose a couple, and we'll choose our favourite last, right? So we'll do it in descending order. So our third favourite. Do you want to take the third one?
Okay, I'll start the third one. This is from Connor. Yeah. So thank you, Connor Duffield, who emailed saying, "Hi guys, really interested to hear your thoughts." Thanks, Connor. I've played golf for the past 3 or so years. I'm a 16 handicap, and I use some clubs that I found in a friend's garage. It's a tailor's oldest time, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Including a mix of irons from Slazenger to confidence irons, a Donahue driver. You get the picture. We really do.
Oh, Donahue.
Wow, old school. The reason for this is that I don't have loads of spare cash for new clubs. Get it? And would feel guilty splashing loads of cash on clubs instead of other household stuff for me and my partner. Connor, you're a good bloke. Well done. That
makes sense.
It makes sense. I also haven't had a lesson. I strike the ball okay and can drive it standard, I'd say, for a mid-handicapper. My question is simple. Mm-hmm. Would you either a couple of golf lessons help me advance my game more, or buying some clubs from the 21st century help me get to the next level? Love the pod, guys. Connor.
Oh, thanks, Connor. Thanks. I mean, really, this should have won because we could have given you £50 worth of golf bidder vouchers.
But sorry, guys.
It's we're the evil people. I mean, listen, you've never had lessons, Connor. I would always err on the side of lessons here, mate. I would always go in on the lessons, but
really?
I would normally do that. Well, yeah, of course, but normally I would say that to people assuming they've got clubs that are sort of from this century.
Yeah.
But if you've got proper car boot sale, last seen being used in the 1920s, then I would possibly, on this occasion, suggest getting yourself to Golf Bidder. There's an affiliate link on the episode description, but I understand it with budgets, but you can buy clubs from, as Tom did a few weeks ago. Check out our video on TikTok. You bought some Mizunos. How much were those Mizunos you bought?
Oh my God, it was mad. They were like 80 quid for a full set of Mizuno irons, 5-iron to pitching wedge. Full set. They were 80 quid. They are wonderful. And the great thing about, maybe, Connor, you don't want some muscle back blades, but pings in particular, the technology that goes into those things have been great for so long. So you could buy a 15-year-old set of pings, cavity backs, for like £100, if that, on Golf Bidder, and you would have a really good set of golf clubs in your hand. Now, normally, I would agree with Price that the advice would be just go and get some lessons. But in this instance, I actually couldn't disagree with that more. I think going to get lessons with clubs that are as outdated as those are, you might find yourself, you very quickly go, and now I need some new clubs as well. Whereas if you got some new clubs, that will take you down to a sort of high teens handicap golfer, then you can use those for the next year and whatever, and then get lessons. Would be my advice.
I would try and do both. I would try and do new clubs and lessons, and don't feel, I don't know what your budgets are, but don't feel like you have to spend £500 on clubs. You just don't. No. Go onto Golf Bidder, and there are clubs that are 15 years old that will be amazing for you. Honestly, it is not worth still playing with those old clubs. I hope that helps, Connor. Thank you very much for your email.
Or divorce your partner. Next email.
Yay! Can I do this one from Ian Plant? It really made me laugh to the point where I actually read this email out to my wife in bed this morning, if that's not TMI for you.
Wow,
sorry,
sure.
everyone.
Yeah,
that's right. My wife and I share a bed. Get over it, guys. It's 2025. Ian says, strap in, fellas. This is a bit of a long one, so I'll try and condense it because it is long, but it's very funny. I'm sat here contemplating my round of golf from Saturday, and let this be a warning to anyone who decides to get their other half into golf.
Oh, well, let's talk about this.
Yeah, I'm currently playing off 18. I thought, it being Mother's Day weekend, I'd ask my wife if she fancied playing 9 holes. Okay, Ian, nice. And then we'd go down the local for something to eat and a couple of drinks.
Oh, okay.
Shunning my usual golf buddies. My wife has been to the range a few times and probably played 9 holes, maybe 6 or 7 times. She did once get a birdie on a par 3 after a driver off the tee went around 20 yards, and then a fairway wood somehow rolled in from around 80 yards. So she's very much still learning the game, or so I thought. Mm-hmm. I was on a bit of a high after 43 earlier in the week. I assume that's Stableford points.
Tom doesn't understand. 43 is very good. Well done.
I got a 37. I don't care. What does that mean? Anyway, cut to the game. First hole, an uphill par 4, always tricky. Shank. Oh no, he's got the shanks.
Oh God,
he's got the Tom Shanklins. Straight into the rough on the left. My wife hit a drive around 100 yards straight down the middle. Huh.
Okay.
This will be fine. I just need to warm up. I finished the hole with a 7. My wife got a 5.
Oh, she's coming for you.
That's hole 1. Shake it off, I thought. Next hole. Shank. Oh, Ian.
And when they start...
Finished with another 7. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I finished with another 7, and my other half got a very respectable 6. I wish I could say I got better from this point on. How wrong I was. I did not hit a fairway from the tee over the remaining 7 holes. My wife happily striping it down the middle and then bump and running it to within a few feet of the pin and generally kicking my sorry ass all the way around.
No pinch on the scorecard.
If it wasn't for a bogey on the tricky par 4 8th, I would have been beaten fair and square. The scores on the doors were plain to see. And we did wait until the warming glow of the fire in the pub and a pint of ale and a glass of wine. I thought I was a beaten man, but somehow it was a draw. Oh. Even Stableford somehow had us as equals. More evidence that Stableford is bollocks. She beat you, mate. My wonderful wife was surprisingly gracious about her game, and I was glad it was over. Now, this is right. This is the bit I love most about this whole story. She has then proceeded to spread the news of our round to everyone that will listen. I have heard it at every available opportunity.
Made a montage. Has she spoke to James Gregg from 5 Live? Weird if she hasn't.
Dun, 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 dun. I mean, could you send this email to your mate at 5 Live? Could James do this? I have heard it at every opportunity. I think even the postman is aware of her heroics. And just to rub salt in the wound, and this is my favourite bit, the scorecard is now pride of place on the fridge. I think scores are on the cards, as is divorce. Ian, thank you very much indeed.
Very good, Ian. Now, are we, Tom, on our meeting? Is it Liam we're going to give it to, do we think?
Liam's my favourite. I think Liam's is really funny. I like Liam's a lot.
Here we go. Email of the week then. You can get yours on the show next week. The Toms at golfisreadingmylife.co.uk. Liam says, to Tom and Tom.
Hi there.
I'm a 24 handicap golfer who sometimes shoots quite far under my handicap. That's absolutely fine. Last weekend...
Okay, an eyebrow raised from me at that.
Yeah, okay. Last weekend was my golf club's first medal of the year. I was the first tee time out and feeling nervous for being the first medal for a while, So I had quite a lot of thoughts in my head. Just before I teed off on the first, I said to myself, just don't go over 100. That's good self-talk.
Yeah,
to my
absolutely.
surprise, I was shooting par on the front 9 holes. Yeah, that's right. A 24 handicapper shot a perfect front 9 with 9 pars.
Someone needs a cut urgently.
Wow. I mean, we're not even going to get onto my card the other week, but I did something close to this, and my head was in the clouds. So God knows how you were holding it together. Anyway, I try not to think ahead of myself. That is the key. Someone I was playing with thought it'd be a good idea to tell me I could win the gross and net comp if I should par on the back. So, with that in mind, I got to the 10th tee and proceeded. I got to the 10th tee.
I love this so much.
And proceeded to put 6 balls in the water and walked up that hole with a 15. And after that, went bogey on every hole.
Forget the cut. Your handicap's.
Do you think it should be illegal to say someone they could win this comp before they finish the full 18? Cheers. Illegal's a funny word, isn't it? That's illegal.
I think
that's an arrestable offence.
I think new golf laws. We should do the Gurmal golf laws. It is from now on illegal to lean over to someone and just whisper into their ear, "All this could be yours one day. All of this. Look, think of the glory." Because if there's one way to make you play bad golf, So as soon as someone said that, 6 balls in the water,
6,
like plop,
6,
plop, plop.
Guys, imagine standing there.
I love that so much.
After having the previous 5 balls go into the water and then putting another one in the water. That must be a mad feeling.
I mean, I once put 3 balls on the rail track at our place when I was on a really amazing card. My God, the guy I was playing with, Jimmy, was just, he went through so many emotions. Like the first one was like, "Oh, mate, don't worry." And the second one was like, "Oh, God." And then he went sort of quiet and then he just laughed and laughed and laughed. You have to.
Head's gone.
You have to.
Did you, did you keep playing the same
amazing.
club? Was it 3-wood, 3-wood, 3-wood?
Yeah, because the tee's miles back and I couldn't be bothered to walk up to the... and I had balls on me. Do you ever do that thing where you have to hit a provisional and you're like, "I can't be bothered to walk back to the bag. Has anybody here got a ball?" And then some random you're playing with is like, "Yeah, I've got a yellow pinnacle."
Yeah.
Okay,
"Please, sir."
Then. Yeah, exactly. Awful.
Well, well done, Liam. You are the winner of the £50 golf bidder voucher this week. And hopefully you could buy some second-hand balls on there. I don't know whether they do them or not. Get your emails in. The Toms at golfisruiningmylife.co.uk. And Golf Bidder Email Corner will return on the show next week. Remember, there is a link in the description to the Golf Bidder website if you want to go and check out anything on there. It's just fascinating to have a little peruse and say, that driver from 2 years ago is now that. Maybe I'm going to buy it, actually. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's very important that just send us your, if you got a tepid take, we love a tepid take. Should it be illegal to say, "Oh, you could win this," for example? But equally, what have been the disasters? What's the triumph and what's the disaster that you've had already this season? The Toms at golfisruiningmylife.co.uk. We're nearly at time, Tom, which is obviously a shame because you did, and let's give a bit of time to this because you shot an incredible round again the other day, which proves that when you beat me the other day, that was no fluke. You have gone out, and I think joining a club and obviously getting the lab putter have revolutionised the green game, haven't they?
Can I say, and this is no spawn, we've not been paid to say this, the lab putter has resulted in the single biggest improvement in my game of anything I have ever done. Stick that on Lab's website because I cannot tell you this round of golf, right? And it goes back to what we were saying the other day, Tom, about everyone perceives professional golfers of having this perfect round of golf. And I shot 8 over, which is the best score I've ever done. I broke 80 at my new golf club. It's resulted into a handicap of 9. I'm now a single-figured golfer.
Oh, he's in single figures.
I'm so happy. I'm going to play golf probably later today, and I can just know I'm going to be all over the place with it. But
can I just say, next time we do Versus, if we do get out on the course and film anytime soon, wink, wink, we need to have a conversation about the handicap because we're always 5 shots apart, and I've gone up. I'm off about 6 now, I think. Yeah. So there's a chat there, Tom.
There's a chat to be had. But this round of golf that I had, what the big difference for me was I was scrambling left, right, and centre. I really want to get in my bag. I really want to get Arcos in my bag because I'm such a golf nerd. We're all golf nerds that listen to this show, and I would love to have a deep dive into the stats behind that round because I'm going to say anecdotally, I don't think I was green in reg that much at all, right? But what I did, I don't think it was green in reg at all. I think what I did consistently was chip and one putt. I did it again and again and again and again, 10 foot away, lab putter, once again, rolls it in. Every single time I scrambled like all hell.
Yeah, scrambling is the key. You have in my experience, the single figure rounds are one of two types. You either have those incredible rounds where you're just hitting greens in regulation, like golf is the easiest game in the world, and you're playing with a tennis ball, and it's just like this is a doddle.
Yeah.
And I've had, luckily enough, a couple of those. And the other one, single figure rounds, are the ones where you just scramble, and those are far more common, and those are in a way more satisfying because you just think, my God, it's like every time you scramble, even though it's for a par, it feels like a birdie. It feels, whereas the rounds where you're hitting greens in reg and getting pars, you're often like, oh, I could have got birdie there. So it feels great, and it's deserved, man, and it proves how much you've been working on your game, and it's just it is great. It is great.
Yeah, it all came together, but there was just stuff like behind a tree. Took a drive. This was on like 17 or something. Behind a tree, completely blocked out. Managed to bunt a 4-iron onto the front of the green. There was a lot of that going on. I was saying, I don't know my golf course that well. So another one, I was like, oh God, I've got a bogey 5 on that. Turns out it was a par 5. It's like, okay, fine. There's a lot of those moments where I was like, oh God, oh no, it's actually fine. But yeah. It was the nerves on 18 were through the roof.
Yes. That moment when you swing. So what did you get on 18?
A bogey at 18.
So the moment when you're hitting into the green, I remember that when I got my 2 over and I had a wedge into the green on the 18th, and I remember swinging back and just going, I don't know what I'm doing, and just put my club somewhere back there, and hit and nearly birdied the 18th actually, and it was nerves like I've never felt before on a golf course.
I think the difference was for me, and the difference between that and when you're like head to head down 18, or like when me and you were head to head down 18, or when it's a competition, the only thing that I really cared about was breaking 80. And I knew that I had, I knew I wasn't going to double. I was by the bunker. I had a chip and a putt for par. So I knew I was sort of quite relaxed about it. And I hit the most limp-wristed, awful chip just over the bunker. Thought, I don't care. It's definitely a 2-putt from here. And it was. And there was my bogey, 78. Yes. But it was so, sorry, I know we're running out of time on this, but a really quick story is I played with a guy called Neil. Lovely Neil at the golf club. Neil had never logged into my EG. And he was attesting my card.
Oh, God, that's so stressful. No, I would literally be going home with him and explaining how to do it. No.
So as we walked on, I said, Neil, you can't leave this golf club until we've done this. Sit down, Neil. What's the Wi-Fi code? I don't know. I'll go and find it. Stay there. It was mad.
Neil, I'm going to hire a WeWork office and I'm going to sit with you for the next 48 hours at a desk with robust Wi-Fi until you've sorted this, Neil.
Yep. Neil, we're not leaving. I text Neil the next day saying, sorry if I was a bit weird about the score, mate.
Did you?
Because I was intense, Tom.
Funny.
I was intense.
Oh, I love it. Listen, we've got to finish here. A couple of things to say. Tom and I both playing golf today, which is super exciting, so we'll tell you more about that next time we speak. We will speak to you this evening to talk about the Masters, and in an hour's time, Tom, just over an hour's time, we are having a meeting about something extremely exciting, and we will be telling you all about that next week here on the show, and we cannot wait to tell you about it.
See you next time. Bye.